8 cancer doctors who dedicated their lives to saving others and blowing the whistle on the devastating turbo cancer epidemic sweeping the world have been found dead. The bodies of 6 world-leading oncologists and 2 resident medics were found on Friday in the wreckage of a plane that plunged from the sky in Brazil and exploded in a fireball, killing all 62 people on board. The doctors were on their way to an international conference in Sao Paulo, where they were set to present their findings that mRNA and the COVID-19 vaccines are responsible for the explosion of turbo cancers and autoimmune diseases wreaking havoc around the world today. Mainstream media are working overtime to brush this story under the carpet on behalf of Big Pharma. But the facts are damning, and we're not going to let them cover up the truth. Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of your dreams. Visit joson.com and click the Join Us button today. It's completely free. 6 leading oncologists and 2 resident medics were on their way to a blockbuster cancer conference in Sao Paulo when the twin-engine turboprop ATR 72500 Vopos airline flight plunged from the sky and crashed into a gated community. The plane was at an altitude of 16,000 feet when it went into a death spiral and plummeted to the ground in 50 seconds. Eyewitnesses who caught the crash on video said it appeared to stall before circling to the ground and bursting into flames at around 1:30 p.m. local time. A total of 15 doctors were scheduled to take the doomed flight, but miraculously 7 had taken an earlier plane.
New information tonight on this haunting scene. A plane spinning slowly as it drops from the sky, crashing in a Brazilian neighborhood near Sao Paulo, leaving behind an inferno of black smoke towering over the homes the plane crashed in front of. Brazil's Vopos airline updating the number of those who perished from 61 to 62, 58 passengers and 4 crew members.
There's something catastrophic that appears to have happened on that airplane that caused the pilots to lose all control.
Brazil's president declaring 3 days of national mourning.
Prosecutors are investigating the scene and warning that identifying all of the bodies will take a lot of time.
We are concentrating on providing specialized assistance from psychologists, social workers and legal advisors to meet the families' requirements and priorities. We're focusing on the well-being of the families.
More than 50 bodies have been recovered, but most were so badly burned, identification will take time.
The bodies were carbonized and are being transferred to the morgue in Sao Paulo, where they will be x-rayed and DNA tests will be done to identify them.
The 8 doctors who tragically lost their lives in the air crash include radiologist Lianel Ferreira and pediatric cancer experts Sarah Stella and Silvia Osaki. Eduardo Baptistella of the Regional Medical Council said, "Unfortunately, we received very sad news and were able to confirm the death of 8 doctors. The doctors were going to an oncology conference. These were people who dedicated their lives to saving others." Saving others for these oncologists involved warning the world about the devastating effects of mRNA vaccines and the skyrocketing rates of cancer around the world, including rare, ultra-aggressive cancers behaving in ways we've never seen before. According to a colleague, the whistleblowing doctors were set to present evidence to the world that the public were misled about the nature of the mRNA COVID-19 injections. The doctors on the doomed flight had concluded that governments and regulators must urgently recall the mRNA vaccines before even more harm is done.
We have all been warned to stop researching this area. My colleagues were told they must not, under any circumstances, bring this information to the public forum. But they chose to do it anyway. They understood the risks, but they did not expect the plane to fall from the sky. We now know that mRNA produces an uncontrolled amount of spike protein in the body because the N1-methylpseudoridine allows the mRNA to remain in the body for an unspecified amount of time. Moderna and Pfizer told us that mRNA would leave the body in a matter of weeks or months, but it doesn't. This is incredibly dangerous. This is a disaster for global health. We are seeing the results of this deception in real time around the world.
Rare cancers are exploding in number around the world and behaving in aggressive and unpredictable ways never seen before. And the Brazilian doctors are not the only ones trying to blow the whistle about the truth. Doctors and medical researchers are rising up in defiance of the big pharma cartel and the regulators who are determined to keep humanity in chains.